Thank you for attending today's webinar on targeted statement marketing. And again, my name is Tim Turzin. I am the Senior Sales Executive here at LKCS. So for those of you who don't know who LKCS is, we are a full-service marketing company. We've been in business since 1961, and we've dealt with financial institutions the entire time. Okay, so a lot of our products and services are related to the financial industry. And obviously one of the biggest things that we do here is, statement printing and mailing and e-statements and things like that, which we're going to talk about. But definitely if you're looking for anything else or have any other questions on any other services, please feel free to reach out to me after the webinar and we can discuss anything else you might need. What we're going to get into today is really how to leverage statements for marketing purposes. Okay, some of the big key points we're going to kind of talk about are, statements and e-statements are excellent marketing avenues. Right? People don't really think of them as traditional marketing avenues, but they are, right? But we need to focus on targeted marketing. Okay, we're not just going to do what we call the spray and pray method, where everybody gets, the same thing and do it in abundance. We're actually going to try to use data to leverage marketing offers. Right? We can actually use multiple ad spaces to get those different messages and points across. Again, we'll get into all that throughout the webinar. And the other big key is print and electronic statements can be the same, but they can also be a little bit different, right? So just because they switch to e-statements doesn't mean you can or should quit marketing to them. Right? Just because they went paperless doesn't mean, hey, we're going to forget about them and stop the marketing. Don't do that. But yes, the overall look of the statement is the same, but those targeted marketing offers can be different no matter how the statement is delivered. So again, we're going to target market these people regardless of how we're getting them that statement, whether it's print or electronic. We're going to make sure that the marketing messages we're delivering are relevant to those specific people. Before we jump into how we really do all that targeting and all the different fun stuff, I'm going to take a step back really quick and just talk quickly about how LKCS kind of goes about this, how we prepare and manage this. Number one, we let our clients basically prepare their statement in any format or layout that they choose. Okay, we're not a cookie cutter type organization. We don't want to make everybody do the same thing or have all of our clients look the same. So basically when we start and we begin, we're going to ask you specific formatting options, styles, elements that you want to incorporate. So every single thing or every single piece of that statement is going to be unique to your institution, your brand, and how you want to portray yourselves to your account holders. So when I talk about statement reformatting, a lot of people aren't quite sure what that means. So this is a great example of two statements side by side, the exact same data. The one on the left is a non-reformatted version of the statement on the right, which has obviously been reformatted. If I'm an account holder and you're sending me statements that look like the one on the left, you're right, I'm not going to look at it. It's too hard to read. I'm not going to understand it. So I'm not going to look at it. If you're going to send me a statement like on the right, I have an interest to actually look at it. It's easy to understand. It's easy to read. I know exactly what I'm looking at. So I'm going to spend, definitely more time looking at the one on the right than on the one on the left. So definitely statement reformatting is a big key and a big part of this marketing on the statement. So once again, this is flexible statement design. All right. Don't let your vendors tell you that this is the way it has to be, because it doesn't. All right. You can change anything and everything that you would choose. So these next couple slides are just examples, different ideas, different ways that fonts, styles, headings, where messages are located, kind of look and how they feel. All right, so statement on the left, pretty simple, small little ad space on the bottom. Statement on the right, simple text, ad space on the top, more of a graphical ad at the bottom. Different headers, different fonts, different styles for both. Going on, again, two different statements, again, with different font styles headers, different ad placement areas, graphical over text on these two. And then 2 even different statements, right? So, I mean, there were 6, we have dozens. Okay. And again, everybody is unique in exactly how you want to lay things out, how you want to view things. So again, we make sure we do that for all of our clients here. And last, don't forget about color. All right. In the past, it was a lot more expensive to do color statements versus black and white. That price has come down quite a bit in the last few years. So, if you're looking into reformatting or looking into switching statement processors, or even just want to talk to your current processor about full color, most times you'll be pleasantly surprised of the difference between black and white and color. And obviously, color statements are quite pretty to look at, right? It's a lot easier to see what's going on when things are in color. Your eyes are drawn exactly where you want them to go when you can use color. And also other documents. So just because we're talking about statements today, don't forget about all the other types of documents you're sending out, such as your daily notices, credit card statements, maybe separate mortgage statements, whatever that might be. All of the things we're going to talk about can apply to those documents as well. And again, that's also another way to get your message in front of those account holders. So don't forget about all the different ways you're communicating via statements or notices. So let's get into how we actually do this targeted marketing, how we can handle this for you. So we call, and the industry calls it Transpromo. All right. So what does Transpromo mean? It's really just a compound expression formed between the words transactional and promotional. Right. So basically, we're going to piggyback promotions and advertising onto existing transaction-related documents, such as your statements. Where we're going to take it a step further is you're actually going to combine data mining and business intelligence technology with variable data printing. And what all that means is you can do a whole bunch of cool marketing tricks and features within these transaction documents, such as your statements. But the big thing is, and we tell all of our clients, it's like taking advantage of free postage. Okay, so including these advertisements within your statements, you don't have to send out a separate, promotion or a separate, postcard or a separate letter or whatever that might be, and incur the cost of that printing, that postage, that mailing. Right, putting it directly on your statement costs pretty much pennies a piece. Right, so statement page roughly, we've kind of broke it out to about 4 or 5 cents a page. So an ad that takes up about a quarter of the page costs about a penny. It's much cheaper to do it on your statements than it is to do it, outside of your statement. So again, we talk about that free postage, which is just saving you from sending out a separate mailing. So these statement ads are what we call onserts, and we call them onserts because they're going on the statement, right? An insert or a statement stuffer goes in with the statement, onsert goes directly on. But we're going to print those ads directly on that statement for literally pennies. We can take these ads and send them to all members or all account holders, or we can target specific groups of those account holders to receive one or more of those messages. So again, we don't have to do that coverall. We can start targeted marketing and individually, hitting all the way down, to that account holder level to give them true one-to-one marketing options directly on their statements. You are not limited to short text-only messages at the top of the statement, limited by characters. You can now include graphics, logos, fonts, photos, or personalize the ads. All right, and when I talk about personalize, we'll get into a few different options. But you can actually put information directly in the ads that's relevant to that person. Okay. And the same technology that enables us to do all of the cool marketing stuff also allows us to do loan payment coupons, rate grids, regulatory notices, or more, all delivered directly on your statements. Okay. Big benefit with us is we allow our clients to design the ads themselves if they choose, or we can custom design it for them each and every month. So we're pretty flexible on that. Whichever way works best for you, we can accommodate. So this is just a few different options of statement onserts. So when I was talking about that personalization of those, so the top left is a loan payment coupon. All right, this is a pretty big one. A lot of our clients choose to do it. So instead of doing a loan payment coupon book yearly, or at the beginning of that auto loan, sending out that, giving them that 5 or 6 year book, we're going to print that loan payment coupon on their monthly statement, or print 3 of them for their quarterly statement, depending on how often they get those statements. But we can put all the information, so that account holder's name, their number, the loan number, the amount, interest, whatever piece of information we need to put on there, we can pre-populate and pre-fill, and we can actually do it on the fly. So as they pay things, down further or in advance, we can adjust those numbers, within or with the data that's in that statement data to make it accurate. The one on the right is a skip a payment letter. Skip a payment letter goes right with the statements. We're actually pre-populating that with the account holder information, the loans we're allowing them to skip, all the pertinent information needed. So all that account holder has to do is check a box, sign, and be done. They don't actually have to fill all that information in themselves. So not only can you do small targeted areas, you can go a step further and do entire pages, okay, and what we call statement letters. So we have found that including personalized direct mail letters as the first page of your statement doesn't cost any extra postage, it's already going with that statement, but according to the Direct Mail Association, those personalized letters remain the most effective method of direct mail. All right, so people still prefer looking at a letter over just about anything else. All right, and you can use these full page ads or full page letters for pre-approvals, referral campaigns, skip-a-pays, investment relationships, welcoming new account holders, etc. So whatever you see fit, you can use this for. So again, these are just some examples, a full page letter. So this is page 1 of that statement. The next page would start with the actual statement data or account data. All right, so again, customize it however you would like. Now we're going to talk about cross-selling. So I've given you some ideas and some thoughts for how to start using this, but now we really need to start thinking about how we can use this to effectively cross-sell different products and services that we might have. So once again, you get to target who will receive those onserts or inserts with different criteria, including account relationships, account balances, account activity, geography, any other condition that's identifiable in that statement data, or any conditions identifiable in a separate control file. All right, so when you start thinking of just those few things there, just relationships, balances, activity on accounts, you have all kinds of information within that statement data on those 3 things that you can start mixing and matching and targeting different people and different account holders for different products and different services that you offer. Once you start looking into the geography and all other conditions that you might have already in your statement data, or things you can get out of your core anyways and send to us, the possibilities are really kind of endless there of how far you can go with this. So a couple potential candidates for this: new account holders, welcoming new account holders to your institution. So the first time, we would see that person in that statement file, we can put a message, right? Loan payoff thank you letters. When they're paying off their loans, thank them for their business. Let them know the latest loan rates on whatever product it is, right? Auto loan recapture. Looking at the data potentially to see either that account holder is paying, potentially an auto loan elsewhere, or maybe that you see that they do have an auto loan with you and it's been with you for X amount of months. Maybe they've had that loan for 30 months. We know people are starting to look into refinancing about that time. Maybe we want to reach out there. Birthday messages. If you have their birth date in the file, we can actually reach out in the month that their birth date falls and wish them a happy birthday. We've talked about loan payment coupons. Insurance, mortgage, investment services. So any of those separate services that you might offer and you want to target, you can do it here. Business accounts. All right, target your business accounts separately than you would, your normal account holder. New mergers or branch acquisitions. New segs for those credit unions on. All of those are different ways you can take advantage of those cross-sell opportunities. All right, so a lot of different avenues, a lot of different things to think about. But again, remember, everything's customizable, so anything you can think of is pretty much possible. And when I talk about that, we have a client who we call our all-star targeted marketing statement client. So Credit Union 1 is a client of ours, and they do quite a bit of targeted marketing techniques on their statements. So right now, they typically have a combination of 30 or more ads that go out each and every month. I believe last month they were around 46 different ads or messages that they displayed to their members. Those ad sizes ranged from 3 inches by 2 inches all the way up to full page letters. So they have a few different areas that they can put, their statement onserts. And they, again, targeted these onserts that offer cross-sell opportunities. So we'll kind of get into a few of these and show you exactly, kind of what they're doing. So the specifics of their monthly campaign, basically how this really all works, they have a total of 5 separate ad locations. They have a full page letter area for the first page of the statement. They have a full page ad for the back of their statement. They have a normal first page ad that's a smaller ad up in the top right corner. They have another first page ad that we call position 2. That's a smaller ad that's at the bottom part of the first page of the statement. And then a last page, white space, which is the last front side, if there's space there, to put a separate ad. Okay, a little confusing, but again, 5 separate areas. They also have 4 separate, what we call classes of onserts they do. So they're sending us different onserts for loan specials or product specials that they have going on at that particular time. They send us onserts for their matrix or onboarding campaign. They have consumer segments, which are broken down by different pieces that account holder might have, age, some different things like that. And then they have a standard, kind of cover-all onsert if you're not in any of the other groups. So they actually send us 10 to 20 data files every single month. All right, and those 10 to 20 data files that we get from them basically tell us which class of onsert they're going to be in. So that's what kind of specifies who qualifies for what. And our team works with them directly each month to determine priority. Okay, so once we get all that data and we look at it and we filter it all and figure out who might be getting what, then we talk to them, okay, is the matrix more important now? Is the loan special more important this time? And we mix and match and decide what's going to go on those first page, second page, last page, however it might fall. So we work with them to figure all of that out, and then we actually go ahead and implement that. And again, typically 30 or more different ads are going out each and every month for them. So this is what their statement actually looks like. So statement on the left, this is just a simple 3-inch by 2-inch ad in the top right corner. That is the only ad that was on that first page. It's pretty easy, stands out. The one on the right has 2 separate onserts on it. It has that 3-inch by 2-inch in the top right corner, but it also has a separate area right underneath it. So there's actually no statement data other than the summary information here. Statement data actually falls to page 2 because this ad or particular onsert took up the rest of the first page. Third one, again, a different combination of 2 ads on that first page. And the one on the right, this is an actual full page or statement letter, if you will. So this ad and this information all matches. They're not two separate pieces. Okay, so I showed you just the first page to make it easy, but you can see there's 4 different statements there that had a total of 7 or 8 different ads, right? So again, you can kind of get crazy with it, and don't be afraid to get crazy with it. So we like the challenge. So Sid Haas, which is our vice president of business development, says this a lot, and I think it rings true, and I wanted to share it with everybody. There aren't many statement vendors that are willing to do all of this, right? While many have the capability to do this, they're all focused on reducing costs and getting their clients to produce statements in the exact same way. And we hear it a lot from people that we talk to. Our vendor says we can't do that. Our vendor won't let us change this. Our vendor won't allow us to do that. And it shouldn't be that way, right? It's your statement. So you should be able to kind of adjust it and do everything you want. And really the only reason they're telling you no is because they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to make you unique. They want to do it all the same exact way so they can reduce their costs. They're not passing those cost savings to you. They're doing it so they can reduce their costs. While I talked about how Credit Union 1 does things, and I talked about that they send us 10 to 20 files each and every month, and I'm sure a lot of you on the call are going, wow, I can't get all that data, myself right now. Wouldn't know where to start. That's okay. All right. While Credit Union 1 utilizes their own system and they have their own processes and how they get us the data, LKCS has a system that you are able to purchase and use to get all this data. So our DataFlex reporting and tracking system actually dives in using your Aries data. It dives into all of your account relationships, balances, all the information that we know about all of your account holders, right? So we get all of that information, and you can actually get in and start pulling out different reports or looking at different dashboards and starting to figure out those relationships and how different things correlate between those account holders and all that other good stuff. So just because you might not be able to do it today, we can definitely help you with the data side of things if you need that help to get that information out so you can start doing this different targeted marketing on your statements. So I could talk about DataFlex for another hour, so we're not going to get into it too much, but definitely know that it's there. And if you're interested, don't be afraid to reach out to me or any of the other sales reps here. We'll definitely be happy to talk about that further. All right, so we talked about doing targeted marketing on the statements, but we can take marketing further. So it doesn't stop with just the actual statement itself. So a couple other options for you are envelope backprinting. Right? We always joke, go ahead and try to open an envelope. The next envelope you see, go home, open your mail. What side of the envelope are you looking at when you open it? You're not going to be looking at the front of the envelope when you're trying to open it. You're going to be looking at the back, right? So the back of that envelope is what we call a billboard. It's big. It's a huge area, and it's inexpensive to use it, right? For example, we charge just over 1 penny per envelope to actually print ads right there. We know people are going to look at them because they're on the back side of the envelope, exactly where they're going to be opening or what they're going to be looking at when they're opening that envelope. We send out stock designs each quarter that you can pick from. We can custom design anything for you, or again, you can supply your own unique ads. Use onserts for envelope backers. So we talked about all those different onserts and all those different ads. We can kind of rearrange those and refigure them to fit, as an envelope ad and use those too. All right. And again, we send out new ideas every single quarter for this. E-statements. We realize that e-statements is the future for the majority of your account statements. And including all of that statement marketing that we just talked about is just as important. Okay, so just because they're electronic does not mean we're going to forget about them, right? So all those Transpromo techniques can all be incorporated into our e-statement system. So again, you're going to have your statement onserts. So those ads directly on the statement are going to appear just as they would if we printed them or post them electronically. But we do some different things, right? We do some different things with e-statements that we don't do with printed statements. So for one, we do banner ads. So when you think about printed statements and putting in an actual statement stuff or insert, this is what's taking the place of that. Okay, so we actually show up to 6 different what we call banner ads at the top of that statement page. Those banner ads can link to web pages, PDFs, whatever it is that you might want. They can appear for all of your account holders, or they can be selective as well. So we don't have to show these ads to everybody. We can pick and choose exactly who we're showing. So just like the onserts can be selective and targeted based on all kinds of things, so can these ads. We also do a nice little thing and flag those ads and say new in the corner, so your account holders actually know what they haven't seen before, what they haven't clicked on. We allow you to customize the notification email that goes out every single month. So turn that notification email into something custom. Rather than just saying, hey, your statement's ready to view, click here. Turn it into an online newsletter, an online resource promoting your latest specials or what's going on or things you're doing in the community, whatever it might be, utilize it, right? It's not just there to say your statement's ready. Tell them about other things that are going on. Another big benefit of electronic, color doesn't cost more, right? So if you're still shy and don't want to get into the color game on the print side, color does not cost any more on a computer screen, right? So no matter what, your e-statements can be shown in full color and no additional costs, right? Some of the other advantages of our e-statement solution, you can actually deliver any document type electronically, right? So statements, tax forms, account notices, anything and everything that you would produce, you can do electronically. It needs to be mobile friendly, right? Nowadays, everybody's connected on their phone or laptop, tablet, rather than a desktop or laptop almost anymore. So if you can't access or view those statements easily on a mobile device, it's kind of hurting you, right? Customizable, trackable email notifications. So again, we can customize those email notifications that are being sent out, but then there's tracking behind it. So you can actually see who's clicked on what and what's going on. Optional text message notifications, right? Yeah, maybe I want an email on certain pieces, but I want text messages on other pieces that might be coming electronically. All right, so allow your account holders to pick and choose. Being able to link to those newsletters, disclosures, privacy policies, inserts, web pages that you have customized for a special promotion, etc. Online retention for longer than 12 to 24 months. So if you want to retain that history out on the e-statement side for several years, that's fine. We have some clients that are having to store data for 5 years or more. That's common. Viewing e-statements for joint accounts from a single login. All right, something that you would do on your side, but allowing or linking certain accounts so people only have to log in once to see all of the different accounts that they might have access to. The ability for the institution to review those statements, tax forms, etc. online before they're sent out. So actually doing an online approval of anything prior to, putting into production. That's available. Having a back-end platform that your employees have access to all documents, not just the people signed up for e-statements. So being able to pull up any and all documents the exact way that they saw them, with the exact ads that were on them when they received them. A user management system to handle enrollments, staff permissions, and more. E-statement reporting, users, access logs, email bounces, all of that stuff. E-statement enrollment with instant access to historical statements. What that means is if an account holder has been with you for several months and are just now signing up for e-statements, they will have access to all of those documents prior. So all the months they were a print statement, they will also be able to see that as soon as they log in. So they're going to see all that history. Single sign-on integrations with multiple online banking vendors. We have not yet found a single sign-on that we can't work with. I'm going to bet that it's not out there. It's not going to be from our end anyways. It won't work, right? Maybe they'll block it for some reason, but it won't be from us that we won't be able to work with any vendor that you choose to work with. We play nice. All right. And just to touch on privacy security, just because we're talking about statements, and obviously this is a big deal, right? All of this stuff that we've talked about, all the things we can do, doesn't mean anything if the information's not secure, right? If we can do all this stuff and it all goes out wrong, it doesn't matter. So information security and privacy is critical to all aspects of our operation. We are SOC 2 certified. We have that paperwork. We share it with everybody and anybody. We do that yearly, all that good stuff. So this is very important to us. We hold it in a high regard. All of your information that is with us, with every step of the way in all departments here at LKCS is very important. So just to touch on a few different of our security policies. Number one, obviously, I talked about the SOC 2. That's a big piece. All of our employees do get background checks, all that good stuff. And one of the big things are building. Some of the people on the call have actually been here so that they know this to be true, but our building was built for security, right? The only door you can access to our facility without having a biometric fingerprint scan or a PIN-based code or both is our front lobby. Once you're in our lobby to actually gain access to the building, you're going to need a PIN-based code or a biometric fingerprint scan to go anywhere. Even specific rooms within our facility, such as our data center, there are biometric scans there. So for instance, I cannot go into our data center. I'm not an IT person. I have no business being in there. I'd probably break something. So I can walk up and put my finger on the scanner. It knows who I am, but the door doesn't ever unlock, which is a good thing. Right? So we restrict access to even our employees that don't need to be in certain areas or doing certain things. Right? On printing accuracy, we have basically modified all of our equipment here to ensure accuracy. So we have a bunch of different things. We have 2D barcode readers, so we actually put a 2D barcode on each and every page of the statement that we're reading every single page. We're also reading it after they're stuffed and in the envelope and sealed. So we're verifying counts of both the pages and envelopes to use that verification. It's pretty unique. It's pretty cool. There's other things I don't want to really get into and bore everybody, but there's a lot of different things that we do to control accuracy here. So again, that security and stuff, very, very important. And I'll be happy to bore you with all this other stuff at a different time if you're interested. With that is everything I had for you all today. So again, thank you all for joining the webinar. And if you do have any questions, I will stay on the line here for the next few minutes and answer them as they come through. But again, thank you for your time today and enjoy the rest of your day.